Despite that Goku hasn't developed many original techniques by himself in the original Dragon Ball, he still possesses a bulk of powerful moves that he managed to learn by either being taught or observing it once, incorporating these moves as part of his arsenal, even managing to develop them to stronger variations all by himself. This gives him a great amount of versatility when it comes to his move pool, as he's able to use them for either offensive or defensive purposes. Just like I did with my previous video where I ranked Vegeta's most powerful techniques from worst to best, I'll do the same with Goku. But just like I said in that video, that this video list will be a little subjective, as moves are usually as strong as the user is, and sometimes as strong as how much the user charges them. For example, a Kamehameha in early Dragon Ball is much weaker than a simple regular Ki Blast from Goku in the Buu Saga. Therefore, these attacks will be ranked based on how effective, cool, and powerful they are compared to the rest of Goku's attacks. However, I must say that unlike the rest of the cast, Goku by far has the deepest move pocket. So instead of mentioning every single attack from every game, I'll focus on the main signature attacks. Therefore, attacks like Simple Ki Blast or the million of different Dragon Rushes you see in video games will not be counted in this video. I will also not count the mental abilities, such as teleportation, ki sensing, or mind reading. These will be in a video separate by themselves, where I talk about Goku's mental capabilities. So without further ado, let's rank Goku's attacks from worst to best.
Ha! Shaken! Rock! Scissors! Paper!
Contrary to popular belief, Goku's first ever signature move wasn't the Kamehameha, but rather the rock, paper, and scissors, otherwise called the Junkin Fist, which is a technique taught to Goku by Grandpa Gohan, which employs one of three attack styles, either a closed fist assault, a two-finger jabbing assault, or an open palm thrust assault. Whether all three moves are performed together as a chain or separately at different intervals is highly dependent on the user. This was seen by Goku showcase this move against Muten Roshi at the final round of the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Goku showed that he was prone to calling out the specific hands when utilizing the matching hand strikes, treating the move more like a game than a martial arts technique. In doing so, it was possible for Master Roshi, disguised as Jackie Chan at the time, to parry each move with an opposing sign meant to block the strike. While the Jankin is traditionally used as a strike for all three hands, it can be used defensively as well. Master Roshi, for instance, used paper to parry Goku's scissors by using his flat hand to block the two-finger thrust. Now, I know this goes a little against what I said in the beginning of the video about not using any rush-styled attacks and you focusing on ki-based moves. It was difficult for me to ignore this attack, and I made an exception, due to it being one of Goku's earliest signature attacks in the series and deserves some recognition and respect as well. In fact, while this move has never become a staple in the show, it inspired other main characters from another anime called Hunter x Hunter, where the main character who's loosely inspired by Goku has the same attack as Goku, called Jajankin. The extra jaw was because Gon from Hunter x Hunter stuttered, which was a funny way to differentiate it from Son Goku's attack. But the fact another main character adopted this technique as its main attack is awesome to see. A God Shot or Finger Beam, not to be confused with the Daddy Finger. Goku was shown to utilize this move in Super Saiyan God during the events of the Tournament of Power. When fighting against Kale and Caulifla, Goku used this move as his opening attack. As Kale and Caulifla stare Goku down and wait for him to make his move, Goku almost mockingly extends his finger out and poses like he's holding a gun and shoots a few beams at them. While it didn't seem like Goku had any real intent to damage or beat the two Saiyans, it was effective psychological warfare by Goku to provoke them. Some people think Goku is disrespecting the girls, but I personally believe he does that so both Saiyans would separate from each other instead of standing so close together. That way he could effectively pick them apart easily without the risk of wasting stamina. This move is honestly such a cool looking move, and I would like to believe it's some sort of reference to Togashi's previous work of Yu Yu Hakusho, as Goku looks like he's doing the Spirit Gun, which would be cool since Gun from Hunter x Hunter took the Junkin Fist. But anyways, this move, while cool looking, is very low on this list as Goku doesn't use this move much, if at all, aside from this instance. It never landed or made any damage. He only used it strategically, therefore I think the placement is fair. The explosive wave is one of those recognizable techniques if you were someone who extensively played the older Budokai Tenkaichi games. Many of the characters in those games utilize this technique for its range and effectiveness. While characters in the original anime do not spam the explosive, they still use it effectively by bursting out their ki from their bodies to repel their opponent, giving them the chance to not only surprise them, but also create distance between themselves and their enemy. While this technique isn't inherently unique, as we have seen many characters utilizing this move from as back as the original Dragon Ball, with Piccolo doing it in the 23rd Martial Arts Tournament. Goku has strategically used this explosive a couple of times in the series. One of those moments was when he arrived on Namek and confronted Frieza's elite forces, the Ginyu Force. There, Goku displays one of his most dominant performances in the series, as the self-proclaimed fastest in the universe Berta and Jace try to intimidate Goku, but only for the opposite thing to happen. Goku was so fast that at one point he managed to dodge all of Jace's key shots at him while appearing to be standing still. That's when Jace and Berta decide to attack Goku, and that's when Goku uses an explosive wave variant where he throws his arm outward and repel both Jace and Berta away. Also, while not exactly the explosive wave, it is interesting to see Goku using a defensive move where he utilizes a ki barrier around his body to tank the ki blasts fired at him. Another notable moment where Goku used an explosive wave was during Dragon Ball GT. After both his sons Goten and Gohan were possessed by the villain Baby, they attack Goku while transformed. At first, Goku seems to be blocking their attacks with each arm, and then he does an explosive wave that repels both Goten and Gohan away, stunning their movements as Goku follows with a few attacks and defeats them easily. Goku has of course used this technique on other few occasions, and just like most of his moves, he's very proficient and intelligent with his use. Most characters that utilizes this technique burn their ki, and usually use it offensively. Goku is the character who always uses this move defensively in order to conserve his energy. Honestly, if this attack wasn't so generic in terms that every character can easily do it, it would have been a lot higher on this video. Kienzan, or the Destructo disc, is a technique originally developed and used by Krillin during the Saiyan saga. We first see this move when Krillin tries to catch Nappa off guard by launching the disc on him. Vegeta, who has a higher battle IQ, notifies Nappa on the potential danger, making it barely miss Nappa. Goku has demonstrated this move and managed to also improve it. The first time in the series that Goku did this attack was in the movie Tree of Might, when his son Gohan was forced to turn into a giant monkey by Turles. Upon rampaging, Turles decides to finish off Gohan with his move, unofficially called Kill Driver. Goku thinks and reacts fast as he quickly fires a Destructo disc that cuts off Gohan's tail and saving him in the process. The second time we see it was in the Buu saga when Goku stops Buu from destroying the earth by throwing a Kienzan on him. Now, this attack could have been a bit further down the list due to the fact that the user cannot guide the attack after throwing it, giving it a low accuracy rate. However, in the Tournament of Power, Goku has strategically managed to catch Jiren off guard for a brief moment, when he threw what seemed to be random discs at Jiren. However, this was all planned by Goku as he could control the discs that would destroy the platform beneath Jiren so he could be eliminated from the arena. Although it fails, this only showcases Goku's battle IQ. Godbind is a technique that was featured in the movie Dragon Ball Super Broly. It is a move that Goku is able to perform in his Super Saiyan God form thanks to the key control of his transformation. He's able to perform the technique by channeling his Divine Saiyan power through his hands, generating a circular flow of energy to surround his opponent, stopping them in their motion entirely. While the technique can be effective, a recipient who turns out to be more powerful than Goku can overcome the technique with one of their own to free themselves and restrain Goku Goku instead, as shown with Broly, who breaks out and places Goku in an aura trap. However, while this technique had less than stellar results during the scene, Goku uses this technique against arguably a more powerful opponent called Moro, where after achieving his perfected Ultra Instinct, he could easily place Moro in a stronger God Bind. Honestly, this technique is high on this list for how useful it could potentially be, and how Goku could easily freeze people during a fight, making it a somewhat unique weapon for Goku. This move would have been much higher on this list had we saw Goku use it more often to finish off his enemies. The Super Dragon Twin Fist is an unofficial name for a finishing move that Goku has displayed in the 12th movie installment, Fusion Reborn. When Goku fights against a personification of evil that is Janemba, a creature that was manifested through eons of evil souls all releasing at once, there Goku displays his ultimate form, Super Saiyan 3, as Goku recognizes the danger that Janemba poses on the universe and tries to end the fight quickly instead of playing with him. He moves towards Janemba, dodges the attack coming at him effortlessly, and unleashes a furious barrage of punches, lifting Janemba high into the air, then teleports behind him and smashes him into the ground with the thunderous punch. As Janemba is damaged, he helplessly watches Goku performing his finishing move as he charges 2 orbs of energy in each of his hands. Then he flies down and rams through Janemba, obliterating him in the process. Honestly, this is one of my favorite movie Goku moments. Not only does he not mess around and gives us the best Super Saiyan 3 transformation on screen, but he delivers when he wastes no time and dunks on Fat Janemba. The execution of this move is also very awesome, and you could also argue that this move should be a bit higher on this list. Ki Burst Sphere is an unofficial name of an attack that Goku performed during the events of the Return of Cooler movie. Right after Cooler reveals his true battle form and attacks Goku, Vegeta interjects and throws a Kyunzon to assist and grant him the chance to escape from Cooler's grip. That is when Goku raises one hand in the air, creates a yellow sphere of Ki, and then launches it at Cooler, causing the sphere to disappear into his body and explode from within. If you think about it, this is essentially the Walmart version of Gogeta's Stardust Breaker or Soul Punisher. We have only seen this attack performed once by Goku, and I personally like to think it's the blueprint for Gogeta's ultimate move. This attack could have been much higher on this list if we saw more applications of it in the series by Goku. The Kiai is a move which literally translates to yell. The key part, as most of you know, refers to spiritual energy. The I upper part means to gather or collect. The bottom part of the symbol means mouth. So an accurate representation of this move could be something like to gather ki in the mouth. Applying this into Dragon Ball context, you would get this technique. Even the Daizenshu specifies this technique as the Great Yell. It can be either used to repel an enemy away, similar to the explosive wave, or to attack enemies. We have seen this move performed by Gohan when he confronted the robbers in Hercule City. When they try to make their escape, we see Gohan extending his arm and yell, which affects the air currents around him with ki to produce powerful shockwaves that pushes the car and makes it flip over multiple times. We see this exact application by Goku a few times in the show. He performs this attack after achieving Super Saiyan to send Frieza flying. We also see him using it defensively against Nappa, where he lifts his arms up and yells to tank Nappa's Bomber DX. An offensive application of this move was used much later in the series. During the events of the Torment of Power, Goku develops a stronger variation called Soaring Fist. After entering his Ultra Instinct form against Kefla, even without signaling a physical motion, he yells and sends a Super Saiyan 2 Kefla flying. He then engages by throwing a barrage of fists in the air and damage Kefla in the process. Honestly, like most moves discussed in this video so far, Goku's application far exceeds any of the other characters in the show. Every single move he utilizes, he's able to make the most of. In fact, even this move becomes more powerful later on after achieving Mastered Ultra Instinct against Jiren. Instead of a barrage of attacks he did previously, Goku throws one fist in the air, causing Jiren to get hit multiple times.
The sun! Yes! That's it! Just one more look over here! Solar Flash!
Solar Flare is a very handy move that was learned by a comrade. Although used for mostly defensive purposes, the move has shown to be incredibly useful throughout the series, as it uses the sun in order to blind an enemy. This is performed by Goku placing his hands close to the center of his face with the fingers spread towards the eyes. Then he calls out the name of the technique, which provokes a white light to fire out and blind everything except Goku. The projection of this intense light hurts the enemies so hard and dulls their senses as a result. The reason why I personally think this move gets this high on this list is because the user does not have to be powerful at all. This attack could work on most enemies who aren't anticipating this move, giving someone like Goku time to either flee or gather up energy to finish off the fight. An attack originally invented by King Kai was the Kaio. This attack's name accurately translates to Fist of the King of Worlds. King of Worlds being King Kai. So in other words, this move is Goku's first godly technique he learned. Goku is currently the only user of this technique that we saw utilizing it in the original Dragon Ball show. The activation of this move gives Goku a crimson reddish aura and multiplies his speed, strength, and even sensory awareness greatly. This move is very risky though, and can only be controlled by Goku due to his pure-hearted nature with the addition of his immense ki control, which is required to execute this attack. In fact, due to this, the inventor of the move King Kai urged Goku to never go past Kaioken times 2, as this short burst of power beyond the body's normal maximum output comes at the cost of increasing the flow of ki within the user's body, taxing it and requiring great skill and concentration to keep it under control. The uprise of ki flowing inside could easily obliterate Goku from the inside. Even when Goku successfully triggered the ×3 Kaioken for the first time, it still caused intense muscle spasms, pain, and weakness after prolonged use. This was shown after Goku overpowered Vegeta's Gallic Gun using the Kaioken ×4. Goku's entire body was worn down and left extremely sensitive to pain. Though after getting much stronger, Goku could easily adapt to Kaioken, and even go Kaioken ×10 and then Kaioken ×20 against Frieza on Namek, multiplying his power level by 20 folds. Additionally, while not canon, Goku was seen using a Super Kaioken in a filler episode as he stacks Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan, making him briefly overpower Pikkon. This could have been only accomplished because of Goku's dead body, as adding Kaioken with the normal Super Saiyan is not a good mix, as it was mentioned by Old Kai that using Kaioken alongside Super Saiyan is almost impossible, or rather lethal, because of the intense emotional turmoil caused by the Super Saiyan transformation, which would not allow precise ki control to survive the technique. This could potentially be lethal to the user. In fact, it took Super Saiyan Blue a tranquil transformation that alleviates these circumstances because of the calm ki and tranquility, but even then it had a chance in failing and killing the user. Of course, Goku being Goku takes those risks, and then succeeds, and then was able to use a Kaioken ×20 while in Super Saiyan Blue. Now, I know what some might be thinking this whole time. The Kaioken isn't really an attack. It's more of a transformation similar to Ultra Instinct in a way. And you might be right, but only to some extent. However, my main focus here was mentioning the Kaioken attack rush itself, as we have seen Goku using the Kaioken to break Nappa's spine. Goku does indeed treat the form as a transformation at times, especially when he stacks it with Super Saiyan Blue, but the technique itself was initially used for Goku to rush his enemies and blitz them through sheer strength. I honestly wanted to put this technique as one of Goku's signature attacks because in the future I'll make a video for Goku's transformations, and I thought it would be more appropriate to leave Kaioken in this video. Hakai, also known as Destruction, is an ability that is inherently accessible by the gods of destruction. Goku, who is a genius in battle, managed to replicate this attack in the manga, as he performs the signature move of the gods, Hakai, an attack so devastating that it could erase someone on the molecular level, so much so that a character being erased this way cannot be wished back by the Dragon Balls. Goku, with no previous Hakai training, managed to pull off an incomplete version against Merged Zamasu in the manga. Goku uses this technique by concentrating all the energy of the perfected Super Saiyan Blue state on his hand, destroying almost half of fused Zamasu's upper body, but is halted after Merged Zamasu uses Future Mai as a human shield. While it was explained by Beerus later that this move wouldn't work on an immortal creature, it is still impressive how Goku, with little to no training, could constantly catch up to gods like Beerus, who is ahead of him by millions of years. Furthermore, in the anime, Goku with a mortal lifespan managed to not only tap into a move that most gods cannot activate, but he managed to learn and master Ultra Instinct and defeat an opponent who was said to be stronger than a god of destruction in Jiren. Reason why I'm bringing this up is Ultra Instinct could be interpreted as an attack like the Kaio can. However, I personally think Goku uses it more as a form rather than a technique. Therefore, Ultra Instinct will be in another video discussing Goku's forms and transformations.
Thanks again, Dragon Balls!
The Spirit Bomb or Genki Dama is one of those attacks that is unique to Goku. Just like most of the moves on this list where Goku has either copied or learned the move, Goku was taught this move in the Saiyan Saga by the King of Worlds Kaio-sama. While others like Cell who claimed they could use this move, Goku is the only known user of this move if you exclude King Kai and the two fusions of Gogeta and Vegito who could theoretically accomplish this move if you assume that Gogeta and Vegito are pure of heart. This attack early on in the series was considered Goku's trump card and most powerful move. The reason behind that is that Goku draws huge amounts of energy from all chosen surrounding life forms and even inanimate objects to conduct that energy into a massive sphere of astounding destructive power. Initially, the sphere is directly related to how much Goku can gather energy, experiencing its first limitation where at first he could only draw power from one planet. However, Goku continued to learn how to expand the range of which he could draw energy, thereby expanding both the size and power of the Spirit Bomb, where he was able then to draw power from the solar system as seen in Planet Namek and even the universe at one point in Dragon Ball GT. He has also demonstrated the ability to absorb a solar-sized Spirit Bomb in Super Saiyan when he fought against Super Android 13, amplifying his strength to a point where he absolutely vaporizes Super Android 13. While the Spirit Bomb isn't reliable to Goku as he got so strong that he could destroy the universe if he wanted with his fists, the Spirit Bomb deserved this spot for having such a high kill count. While in DBZ it failed against Vegeta and Frieza, the move absolutely destroyed and atomized the immortal Kid Buu, and later on in Dragon Ball GT managed to kill the final villain Omega Shenron. In Dragon Ball Super, while it failed catastrophically against Jiren, it did help Goku break through and unlocked Ultra Instinct. Also, if we take into account the movies, Spirit Bomb is the most reliable attack and has a large kill count, destroying Turles, Dr. Wheelo, Lord Slug, and Super 13. Honestly, the Spirit Bomb is an iconic move and could be argued to be number 2 on this list if it weren't for Goku getting way too powerful. The Kamehameha technique is by far the most synonymous attack with Goku. While many others in this series has performed this attack, it is still considered Goku's most iconic attack. In fact, you could also argue that this is the most iconic attack in anime. Since mastering this move, Goku managed to continuously evolve the move throughout the years. The Kamehameha itself had more character development than some other characters in the show, as Goku not only made it stronger, but created different versions and variations of the Kamehameha itself, from executing a feat Kamehameha that will lift him off the ground to attack his opponent in the air, to developing a double Kamehameha to strategically divert Frieza's attention and catch him off guard. Goku has managed to use this technique many times in the series in different creative ways, such as his iconic Warp Kamehameha, where he uses instant transmission to teleport right in front of Cell and fire a full-powered Kamehameha that would decimate the upper half of Perfect Cell. Also, apparently in the manga, Goku performs a mouth blast against an evil character called Gas. Upon researching this technique, apparently it was a mouth Kamehameha that Goku used, just another variation to the many different ones in Goku's bag. What makes his attack dangerous and possibly Goku's strongest attack is the amount of ki that Goku's able to put into this move, resulting into an explosive outburst of blue energy that could wipe out the toughest of foes. In fact, this attack is so strong that it multiplies Goku's power level as seen in the Saiyan Saga. When Goku charges the Kamehameha against Raditz, he notes that using this move amplified Goku's power level far past its limits, and that's early in Dragon Ball. This is not to mention that Goku created a Super Kamehameha and even a limit breaker to God Kamehameha in Super Saiyan God. In Dragon Ball GT, Goku has a red variation of the Kamehameha called the ×10 Kamehameha, where he could accomplish it in Super Saiyan 4. And as the name suggests, the move is so powerful, hence why the color is different. We also cannot discount Goku's Supreme Kamehameha and Ultra Instinct, which is the coolest move in terms of execution and possibly power. Now, I won't dwell much more on the many different iterations on Goku's different Kamehamehas in the series, as that could be a whole video on itself. I'll instead focus on why this move isn't number 1. Now, I don't want to spoil the Vegeta video that I made, as you can also watch it after this video, but in that video, the number 1 move was based on the historical significance in the series. So by the same metric, the Kamehameha should be first. And to an extent, you're right in a way, as Kamehameha has a few kill counts, most notably when Goku killed Frieza in Resurrection F, and he also killed Tambourine, and in the movies he technically finished off Cooler with the Kamehameha with the help of the sun. He also finished off a few opponents in Dragon Ball GT such as Baby, but other than those times, the move doesn't have a very good conversion rate in killing opponents. Though to be fair, that is because Goku doesn't cheese fights. I mean, if you think about it, with the amount of attacks that Goku has, he could easily just spam Warp Kamehameha and just kill every opponent before they power up, or use God Bind and then finish them off. So really, I'm not devaluing the move, I just think that the top move I'm about to mention has the highest win rate. If I can't, who will? The Super Dragon Fist is by far Goku's ultimate move. Whether it's power, appearance, or kill count, this attack tops in every metric. It never failed to striking down an opponent. The Super Dragon Fist variation was first seen in the movie Wrath of the Dragon, where Goku outright demolishes a demon god that was able to one-shot Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and defeat Ultimate Gohan. When Goku discovers the monster's weakness, he taunts the giant monster to attack him. Goku then counters with a move that amplifies Goku's power far past its limit. He puts most of his ki into his fist and launches a powerful punch that goes through Hirudegan in the shape of a giant golden dragon that resembles Shenron. Goku has shown a weaker version of this move when he goes through King Piccolo in Dragon Ball, but this time, Goku shows the image of an ape instead of a dragon. Now, the reason why this move is the top on this list is because this move has never failed to striking down an opponent. It defeated King Piccolo, Hirudegan, Ice Shenron, and Super 17 before following through with a Kamehameha. It even managed to strike down Omega Shenron despite him walking through a full-powered Kamehameha at point-blank range. Though Omega Shenron managed to regenerate after the impact, however, it is impressive that had Omega Shenron not have the ability to put himself back together, he would have died for sure, making this move Goku's ultimate trump card. Also, a cool variation we have seen in the Budokai games is when we see Goku charging the Spirit Bomb in his Super Saiyan form, then absorbs the power he generated and launches the Super Dragon Fist. Now, I know that Kamehameha is basically the quintessential Goku move, and in terms of being iconic, it deserves the top move in the entire series, not just in this video. However, when it comes to what is Goku's best attack and not most iconic, I would have to say that it is the Super Dragon Fist, even when it comes to the non-canon moves like the Super Dragon Fist. I really like the Kamehameha, and I think it's the most iconic move in all of anime, not just Dragon Ball. However, when it comes to Goku's bag, like I said, it's difficult to justify that Kamehameha is the ultimate finishing move. But let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with the Dragon Fist being better than the Kamehameha? Also, did I miss a move or something? Also, please watch my video ranking Vegeta's attacks and let me know which character attacks should I rank next. But other than that, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.